Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I'm going to be checking out a new track from Spite called Made to Please. I have not reacted to any new Spite on the channel because there has not been any since I started my channel. I have heard their discography. They are angry, pissed off. That is what I'm expecting from this track. So that being said, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Got that warning on there.
I'll make you a deal. You can live as long as you don't blink.
It's chaos. Ooh. Oh, that stutter. Spite, Made to Please. Let's discuss. I honestly had forgot about the announcement of Baby J joining Spite until this. I really enjoyed this track. The drumming sticks out to me, not surprisingly there, and honestly with Amir I wasn't really able to get into them very much. I won't say I listen to Spite a ton. I keep them mainly on my workout rotation. I don't know, it's not that I dislike their regular sound either. I really like the Spite tracks. It's just that's where I find myself most frequently listening to them. For whatever reason, it's not like my regular listening is not heavy or anything. But what I noticed about this track is the vocals feel a little bit different. Like, even if you take like the features that Darius has done recently, like there was a Victims track, Carefully Caged, he has like that really identifiable high, and I felt like this more focused on lowers. You have that like really brutal guttural in there, and there were just a number of drops that go. I really like this sound more. I think I would find this fitting more regularly into my rotation, I think, even though this will absolutely go on the workout playlist as well. But there's just something, I think it's vocally in this that sounds a lot better to me. I'm digging the riffs on this, but I feel like that's pretty standard with Spite because they kind of they do go like a little bit thrashy sometimes, it feels like. I think that's, I'm learning more about that term as I've done YouTube. Real honestly, I didn't really use it so much before, and then I've been trying to identify like what between deathcore and like the more hardcore or that side of things that I don't tend to like as much. And it feels like Spite is able to do it in a way where like I could be listening to. I'm not sure if it's taken from like an upcoming album or anything, but yeah, I really like this. You have like it settles into kind of like that slower and lower tone eventually, but like the beginning, you're just absolute chaos from the first minute, especially in the drums is what I'm talking about, I suppose. Looking for like that little break where it will open up a bit, and you really wait for it, I would say. So chaos coming straight into it. Something kind of there was something I was hearing. I wasn't 100% focused on it because it got extremely brutal after, but following like the laughter right there was like something in there that sounded a little bit weird, not in a bad way either, just a little bit different to me that I'll have to go back and check on. I couldn't quite place it, and then immediately it started just going again. So started back focusing on the heavy, the stuttering I mentioned during the end of the track, that sort of towards the end, but just like I feel like really delivering on those big breakdowns. It's bursting into those breakdowns kind of as you would expect from Spite. So going in expecting something heavy, but also a little bit of a surprise for me in terms of not having those vocals I'm talking about. But I really like this track, especially I have that main riff stuck in my head. Or maybe it wasn't even the main riff. I think it was actually at the ending, like that dun 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 dun. Like, yeah, that's stuck in my head very much. So it's a good sign, as I always say when I have a riff stuck in my head after a song. Sometimes it's hard because things sound so similar to other things, and like first hearing a song, especially if it's a band maybe that I don't listen to quite as much as I would say with Spite. I mean, I'm familiar with their discography. IED is probably my favorite track from them, obviously why I like to keep it on the workout playlist. If you've heard that song, it's perfect for it. This definitely, the lyrical content and such, this is what I do expect from Spite. It's not quite as much as, or not as much, it's not similar to the bands I've talked to on the channel, or talked about on the channel, like Invent Animate, bands like that where I really connect with the lyricism. With Spite, it's not so much that connection there. It's so, maybe that might be a portion of it as well, because for me, I feel like sometimes that adds a whole lot to the song for me, like that meaning and stuff. And then when I get to the heavier tracks that are like this, it takes a very certain kind of song to make it to what I've talked about, like that point where I have to wake up in the morning and it's like one of those first songs I put on that's like my routine for as I start working, put on, or if it's the weekend, just kind of putting on what I've been obsessed with recently. And for it to be a super in your face heavy track like that without like connecting to it lyrically, I'm not really sure at this point even what it is about those tracks. So I guess that's something I'll have to dive a little bit further into, because I don't feel like this will go on repeat for me or anything, but it will definitely be something I revisit, if that makes sense. A lot of stuff to dig into. I really like the idea of Baby J being in Spite versus Amir, because like I said, I just can't really get too much into Amir. So though I appreciated his talent in that band, and they have a few songs that I did really like, this may be something that works a bit better for me, and love what he does in Darko, of course. So those are my thoughts on the song. I will link the video I reacted to as well as Spite's social media and such in the description of this video. Let me know what you thought of the track and if you agree with what I said or not. Other than that, you can also find my link tree in the description, which has the invite for the Discord server that I talk about on every single video. It is full of a bunch of my favorite people. We've got a lot of conversation related to music and also a lot of conversation unrelated to music as well. Kind of a lot going on in there. Pet flexes, musician flexes, stuff like that. So if you're interested in coming to join and check that out, that will be there along with my Instagram profile link. On Instagram, I do keep it all music related. I will post a chart every Friday of what I've listened to the most over the course of the week. Top 25 EPs, singles, albums. It really depends on what I've been listening to, of course, as well as 2 regular posts throughout the week. Those may be merch. I have a ton of merch to post all the time, so that's usually my default. And then also, if I've been to a show recently, I post about shows. Sometimes on my story about new videos, that sort of thing. So all music related. If you are interested, my handle on there is Rachel Reacts, just like my YouTube channel, but I will have that link in there in the description if you have any interest in following me. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.